The night we first met. It was a warm summer evening, and Lily, 26, sat by the window of a small cafe in the city, lost in her thoughts. She had just finished a long day at work where she was a junior architect, designing buildings she hoped would stand the test of time. Her hair was tied loosely, a few strands falling over her face, and her favorite light blue dress hugged her in all the right places. She loved this cafe. The smell of coffee beans, the soft music, and the cozy atmosphere made it her little escape from the world. But tonight felt different. There was something in the air, something she couldn't quite describe. As she sipped her coffee, she saw Jake enter the cafe. He was tall, with dark hair that curled slightly at the edges. He looked like someone who didn't care much about fitting in. He wore a simple white shirt and jeans, but there was something about the way he moved, confidently, but with a hint of mystery that caught her attention. Jake looked around the cafe as if searching for something or someone, and then his eyes locked with Lily's. For a moment, everything else faded. The noise, the people, even the music. It all disappeared. There was just the two of them. Lily felt her heart skip a beat, her breath catching in her throat. She quickly looked away, feeling her cheeks flush. But when she glanced back, Jake was still looking at her with a smile that sent a shiver down her spine. He walked over to her table. "Mind if I sit here?" he asked. His voice was deep and smooth, like a secret she wanted to hear more of. Lily hesitated for a second, but then nodded. "Sure, go ahead." He sat down, his presence filling the space. They talked, and it was easy, like they had known each other forever. They laughed about silly things, like the cafe's slow service, and shared stories from their lives. Jake told her about his job as a photographer and how he loved capturing the world through his lens, while Lily talked about her passion for architecture. As the evening went on, the tension between them grew. Every accidental touch, his hand brushing hers as he passed the sugar, their knees touching under the table, sent sparks flying. It felt like there was a magnet pulling them closer. When the cafe began to close, neither of them wanted the night to end. "Want to go for a walk?" Jake asked, standing and offering his hand. This time Lily didn't hesitate. She took his hand, feeling the warmth of his skin against hers. They walked out into the cool night. The city was quiet, with only the soft hum of cars in the distance. They walked side by side, talking about everything and nothing at all. At one point, Jake stopped, gently tugging her hand and pulling her closer. Lily looked up at him, her heart racing. The way he looked at her, it was like she was the only person in the world. "You're beautiful, you know that," he whispered, his voice low, almost a whisper. Lily's breath hitched. She could feel the heat between them. And then it happened. Jake leaned down, his lips brushing softly against hers, testing the moment. It was gentle at first, slow, careful. But then the kiss deepened. His hand slid around her waist, pulling her closer. She wrapped her arms around his neck. They kissed under the moonlight, slow and passionate, like they had all the time in the world. When they finally pulled away, breathless, Jake rested his forehead against hers. "I wanted to do that since the moment I saw you," he said softly. Lily smiled. "Me too." But even in that perfect moment, Lily couldn't shake a strange feeling. Something about Jake, something he wasn't telling her. And deep down, she feared whatever it was could tear them apart. The next few weeks passed like a dream for Lily and Jake. Every day felt like an adventure. Sometimes they met at the cafe where they first met. Other times, Jake took her somewhere new, a quiet rooftop, a cozy bookstore, or wandering the city streets hand in hand. Being with Jake felt easy. They talked about everything. Her stressful work projects, his photography stories, even the smallest, silliest moments. But no matter what they did, there was always a spark between them. A tension that made even the quiet moments feel electric. One night, they went to a small bar where a live band was playing. The music was slow, romantic. Jake stood and held out his hand. "Dance with me." Lily laughed nervously. "I'm not really a good dancer." Jake grinned. "Good thing I didn't ask for a good dancer. I asked for you." That was enough. She took his hand. They moved slowly together on the dance floor, swaying to the music. His hands rested gently on her waist. Her arms wrapped around his neck. Their faces were inches apart. The lights were dim, the world fading away again. Jake leaned close to her ear. "You feel perfect in my arms," he whispered. Lily's heart fluttered. Their lips met again. This kiss was slower, deeper, full of longing. Like neither of them wanted the moment to end. When they finally pulled apart, Lily whispered softly, "I've never felt like this before." Jake smiled. "Neither have I." But later that night, something changed. Jake suddenly seemed distant. His smile faded for a moment. A shadow crossed his face. Lily noticed, but she said nothing. When they reached her apartment, she finally asked, "What's wrong?" "Jake." Jake hesitated, running a hand through his hair. "There's something I haven't told you." Lily's heart sank. Jake looked down. "Before I met you, I was in a relationship. It ended badly. I wasn't ready to get serious again until you." Lily squeezed his hand. "I don't care about your past. I care about us." Jake looked at her with emotion. "I didn't expect to meet someone like you." Suddenly tears filled Lily's eyes. She hadn't realized how deeply she had fallen for him. "I'm scared," she whispered. "I'm scared of losing you." Jake pulled her into his arms. "I'm not going anywhere." That night they talked for hours, sharing fears, dreams, and promises. Lily fell asleep, believing everything would be okay. But the next morning, her phone buzzed. A message appeared from an unknown number. "You don't know who you're with, Lily. Be careful. He's hiding something." Lily's heart stopped. The peaceful morning suddenly felt different. The next message appeared before Lily even had time to process the first one. "Stay away from Jake." Lily stared at the screen, her heart pounding. For a moment, she told herself it had to be a prank or a mistake. But the uneasy feeling in her chest refused to disappear. She tried to ignore it as she got ready for the day, repeating Jake's words from the night before in her mind. "I'm not going anywhere." Those words had felt so real, so sincere. Still, the message lingered in her thoughts like a shadow. Later that afternoon, Lily met Jake at their usual cafe. He was already there, sitting at their table by the window with 2 cups of coffee waiting. When he saw her, his face lit up with that familiar warm smile. But Lily noticed something else too. A hint of nervousness in his eyes. "Hey," Jake said softly as she sat down. "Hey." She tried to smile, but it didn't feel natural. Jake studied her face carefully. "Everything okay?" Lily hesitated. For a moment, she considered pretending nothing was wrong. But she had never been good at hiding her feelings. "My phone got a strange message this morning," she said quietly. Jake's expression froze. "What kind of message?" "Someone told me to stay away from you." The silence that followed felt heavy. Jake leaned back slightly, running a hand through his hair. "That's weird," he muttered. Lily watched him closely. "You don't know who would send something like that?" Jake avoided her gaze. "No, I have no idea." But Lily could feel the tension building between them. The easy comfort they normally shared was suddenly gone. Instead, there was something else in the air. Doubt, fear, and a question neither of them wanted to ask. Jake finally reached across the table and took her hand. "Lily, you trust me, right?" His voice sounded softer now, almost pleading. Lily looked down at their hands. She wanted to say yes immediately. She wanted to believe him without hesitation. But the message echoed in her mind again. "He's hiding something. I want to," she said slowly. Jake's jaw tightened slightly. "Then trust me." For the rest of the afternoon, they tried to act normal. They talked about work, about photography, about weekend plans. But something had changed. The laughter felt forced. The pauses between their sentences felt longer. When they finally said goodbye outside the cafe, Jake pulled her into a hug. He held her tighter than usual. "Everything will be fine," he whispered into her hair. Lily nodded. But deep down, she wasn't sure anymore. That night, curiosity got the better of her. Lily opened her laptop and searched Jake's name online. At first, the results were normal. Photography pages, social media accounts, pictures of landscapes and city streets he had captured beautifully. But then something else appeared. An old news article. Lily clicked it, her heart beating faster. The headline made her breath stop. Local woman missing boyfriend questioned by police. And the boyfriend mentioned in the article was Jake. Lily felt her stomach twist. Her hands trembled as she continued reading. According to the article, Jake's girlfriend had disappeared almost a year ago. She had never been found. And although Jake was questioned by the police, there had never been enough evidence to charge him. Lily closed the laptop quickly, her mind spinning. The room suddenly felt cold. Her thoughts raced with fear and confusion. Was Jake really capable of something like that? The man she had laughed with, the man who had kissed her under the moonlight, the man who held her like she meant everything to him. Could he be hiding something this dark? Her phone buzzed again. The same unknown number. This time the message was even shorter. I warned you. Lily stared at the screen in shock. Outside her window, the city lights flickered in the distance. And for the first time since meeting Jake, she felt truly afraid. Lily barely slept that night. Every time she closed her eyes, the words from the article flashed in her mind. Missing woman, boyfriend questioned by police. Jake's face appeared in her thoughts again and again. The way he smiled, the way he held her, the way he whispered that he wasn't going anywhere. By morning, Lily felt exhausted and confused. Part of her wanted to believe the article meant nothing. But another part of her couldn't ignore the fear growing inside her. Her phone vibrated again. Another message from the unknown number. Meet me tonight, if you want the truth. Lily stared at the screen for a long moment. Her hands trembled slightly as she read the message again. Finally, she typed a reply. Who is this? The answer came almost instantly. Someone who knows what Jake did. Lily's heart pounded in her chest. The message included a location, a quiet park on the edge of the city. And a time. 9 p.m. All day Lily tried to focus on work, but her mind kept drifting back to the messages. She didn't tell Jake about them. She didn't know why. Maybe she was afraid of what she might discover. Or maybe she was afraid the messages were true. That evening, the sky darkened slowly as Lily walked toward the park. The streets were quieter than usual. The wind felt colder. Every step made her heart beat faster. When she reached the park, she looked around nervously. The trees swayed gently in the night breeze. The lamps along the path cast long shadows across the ground. For a moment, she thought no one would come. Then she heard footsteps behind her. Lily turned quickly. A woman stepped into the light. She looked tired, pale, her eyes filled with emotion. "Lily," the woman asked softly. Lily nodded. "Yes, who are you?" The woman hesitated for a moment. My name is Anna. Lily felt a chill run down her spine. Anna. The name from the article. But that's impossible, Lily whispered. The article said you were missing. Anna looked down sadly. I disappeared because I had to. Lily stared at her, confused. What are you talking about? Anna took a deep breath. A year ago, Jake and I were together. At first he was amazing. Kind. Charming. Just like he is with you. Lily's heart tightened. But then things changed. Anna continued. He became controlling. Angry. Dangerous. Lily shook her head slowly. No, that's not the Jake I know. Anna looked directly into Lily's eyes. That's exactly what I said too. Silence filled the space between them. The wind rustled the leaves above. Anna continued speaking. One night we had a terrible argument. I realized I had to leave him before things got worse. So I disappeared. I moved away. I changed everything about my life. Lily felt her mind spinning. Then why contact me now? She asked. Anna's voice became serious. Because when I saw pictures of you with him online, I knew it was happening again. Lily's chest felt tight. Jake isn't who you think he is. Anna said gently. He will make you feel like the center of his world until the moment you try to leave. Tears filled Lily's eyes. Just then, a familiar voice came from the darkness. Lily. Both women turned instantly. Jake stepped out from the shadows. His face was calm, but his eyes were cold. I was wondering when you'd find out, he said quietly. Lily's heart felt like it stopped. Jake, is this true? Jake looked at Anna, then back at Lily. For a moment, he said nothing. Then he sighed. Anna always loved drama. Anna stepped forward angrily. Tell her the truth. Jake's expression darkened slightly. I never hurt you. You ruined my life. Anna replied. Jake turned his attention back to Lily. His voice softened again. Lily, you know me. You know the kind of person I am. He stepped closer. Don't let someone from the past destroy what we have. Lily felt tears running down her cheeks. Everything inside her was breaking apart. Her memories with Jake. The kisses. The promises. All of it suddenly felt uncertain. Did you lie to me? She whispered. Jake stopped walking. For the first time, he looked unsure. I didn't tell you everything, he admitted quietly. That's not the same as lying. Anna shook her head. Lily, please don't believe him. Jake's eyes flashed with anger. Enough. The tension in the air became unbearable. Lily wiped her tears slowly. Then she took a step back, away from Jake. I can't do this, she said softly. Jake's face changed instantly. Fear, anger, desperation. Lily, wait. But she shook her head. I don't know what the truth is anymore, and that scares me. She turned and began walking away. Jake didn't follow. He simply stood there in silence, watching her disappear down the dark path. Days later, Lily sat alone in the same cafe where they had first met. The same table, the same window, but everything felt different now. Her phone buzzed once more. A message from Jake. I never stopped loving you. Lily stared at the screen for a long moment. Then she slowly locked her phone and placed it on the table. Outside the window, the city moved on like nothing had changed. But Lily knew one thing for certain. Some love stories are better left unfinished.